Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is me, Allie, and I hope that you're all having a magical start to your day. I'm here today with my how to plan a Walt Disney World vacation in 10 easy steps. These steps are extremely stressless. If you're anything like me, you might think that planning a Walt Disney World trip is half of the fun. This is definitely one of the most highly requested videos on my channel, especially from the awesome Disney community. I do not say this enough, but the Disney community is the kindest community, the nicest community, the most adoring community that there is out there. I just feel like everybody is so encouraging. Anytime I put up a Disney video, everybody's just so supportive of it, and that is just one of the main reasons why I love the Disney community so much. I just feel like we all share the same views and the same beliefs and values. So thank you guys so much for being part of the Disney community. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you are part of that community. If not, you might want to jump on that little wagon because the Disney community is everything. So yes, I get a lot of requests and questions about how to plan a Walt Disney World trip, and I basically made a list of 10 things that work the best for me. I absolutely love planning. I'm one of those dorks that seriously gets so excited when I just get a pen and a paper and I just jot things down. So again, in today's video, I'm just going to share with you all of my little tips and tricks for planning a successful Walt Disney World vacation. At the end of this video, if you have any other questions or concerns, just ask them in the comments below and I will try my hardest to get back to you as soon as possible. And without further ado, we're gonna get right into this video. So first and foremost, you need to try to decide what time of the year you want to go and where you want to stay. You can either stay on property or you can stay off property. And if you're going to stay off property, I don't have too many tips or tricks for you because I typically stay on property. I definitely find that you get the most benefits if you stay on property, but it is kind of more expensive, so that's completely up to you. But yes, you need to figure out what time of the year you want to go and where you want to stay. Where you want to stay, you can stay at value resorts, you can stay at moderate resorts, you can stay at deluxe resorts depending on your spending budget. I usually stay at the value resorts or the moderate resorts because we are annual pass holders and we get a little bit of a discount now for staying at the moderate resorts, but usually we just stay at the value resorts because they are the cheapest. What I like to do is kind of put them both together, and I will decide what time of the year I want to go, and I will look up the flights, and then I will check out the hotels and see the prices. If the flights are really cheap but the hotels at that time are outrageous, I try to look at a different time, and basically I just go back and forth until I find a time that is pretty decent for flights and pretty reasonable for the hotels. Number two, when you find a flight and a hotel/resort that works for you and you decide that you're really serious about going on your Walt Disney World trip, book your flight. Book it immediately. I say it like this because I've done this countless times where I'll plan out this amazing Walt Disney World vacation, I'll find a really inexpensive flight, I'll find a hotel or a resort that is in my budget, and then I'll tell myself I'm just gonna book it next Friday. I'll go back next Friday and that same flight has gone up like $100 to sometimes even $200. Even if it only goes up $25, I'd want to spend that extra $25. Now, I can't speak for every single airline. I usually fly through Southwest when I'm going to Walt Disney World, and I know Southwest does this, but again, I cannot speak for all airlines. If I go on Southwest and I find a flight to Walt Disney World for like $125 and I book it and then I check that same flight a month later and it went down $50, if you contact Southwest, they will give you a credit towards your next flight within the year. So they'll give you a $50 credit, and within that year, if you're going somewhere else and you're flying through Southwest, you already have a $50 credit. I don't know if all airlines do that, but you're better safe than sorry. You might as well book it then and just get the credit rather than not booking it, waiting for a cheaper price, and then all those flights going skyrocketing high. So my suggestion is to book the flight immediately. The flights fluctuate so much. Flights fluctuate daily. The hotels or the resorts, they don't really fluctuate too much if you're going in a certain span of time, but flights will fluctuate daily. So book your flight. It is better to be safe than sorry. Number three is where all the magic starts, and that is to book your hotel. Now you can book your hotel two different ways if you're staying on property. You can book it on their website, which I will link right here, as well as in the description below, or you can just call up one of their customer service representatives. Again, I will leave the number right here, and I will also link it in the description below. I personally like to use the online model because it is very very self-explanatory. It basically asks you like, when are you planning on going, how many people, and then it'll just ask you a bunch of questions that you should answer yes or no, or however many people. Like, do you want to do a dining pass? Do you want to do the photo pass? And it's basically just click yes or click no. It is very self-explanatory, very user-friendly, and very, very easy. But if you're the type of person who would rather talk to an actual human being, you can just call their actual hotline. Now, one big suggestion, whether you are calling up or you're booking it online, make sure to ask for their special promotions. Now, I usually book mine online. The second I click like accept and I book my vacation, I will call immediately. So you might just be asking yourself, well, why don't you just book the whole trip over the phone? I don't know, I like to just do it myself. That's just the type of person that I am. But right when I'm done booking my trip, I call their hotline immediately and I talk to the resorts. It's kind of like one of their special little extensions. They have so many extensions like food and beverage and parks, etc. I just call the one for the hotels and then I ask them about their special promotions. Now, Disney is always running special promotions, whether it is saving like 10 to 30% off of a room, or they're offering free dining, or they're offering a free photo pass. I don't know exactly what it might be at that time, but they're always running something. They won't just necessarily put that into your price or into the online model, but if you call, they will just take it right off of your price. So book your trip and then call to talk to a representative. You don't even have to do it that day. You can wait like 2 weeks before your trip. Just make sure you call before your trip at some time to save yourself a little bit of money. Number 4, now that you've booked your flight as well as booked your resort or your hotel, it is time to start planning out your days. And this is my favorite part of the entire experience, to plan out your days. And I mean plan out your days. I'm talking like, where do you want to be in the morning? Where do you want to be at night? What food do you want to eat? What restaurants are you going to go to? What characters are you going to meet? What fast passes are you going to use for the day, etc. Now, if you're a type of person who's going to do a park hopper like me, I like to do the park hopper so I can go to any park throughout the day. You basically want to plan out your mornings and your afternoons or your nighttime. If you're a person who is going to be doing only one park a day, just plan out where you want to be each day. So on the Monday, do you want to be in Magic Kingdom? On the Tuesday, do you want to be in Epcot? Wednesday, Animal Kingdom. Friday back to Magic Kingdom, and then maybe Saturday you want to go to Hollywood Studios. Now, I like to use the help of a handy dandy little notebook. I actually ripped this one out of the notebook for the purpose of this video, and this just might be the teacher in me, but I even have a cover sheet for it. It says Walt Disney World Summer 2016. So this is like my little planning guideline for the vacation that I went on over the summer, and I just have my cover sheet, and then each page is a different day. So I have day 1, July 26th on the top, I have my flight information, I have the Magical Express information, and then I have the hotel that I'm staying in. We stayed in a Caribbean beach resort and it is amazing. I highly suggest it. And then I just do my days. So I have Magic Kingdom afternoon and evening. The dining, I have where we're going to be dining, and then our fast passes for the day. That was our first day, so we only went to one park. For example, this is the second day, day 2, July 27th, 2016, Hollywood Studios in the morning, and then Epcot at night. Where are we going to be dining at both of those places, and what are our fast passes going to be? Now, there's going to be like a lot of crossouts in here. This is kind of like my little rough draft of planning, and this is again just where I ask myself, where do I want to be in the morning, where do I want to be at night, and then I take all this information and I put it into an Excel sheet. That just might be the teacher in me as well, but I am just obsessed. I am a strong advocate of making an Excel sheet before a Walt Disney World vacation. Excel sheets are everything when it comes to planning. I put everything on there, from my fast passes to my dining to where I'm going to be. I color code it, and I know a lot of you guys asked me before I went on my Walt Disney World trip last summer, or this past summer, if I would share my Excel sheet. So I'm going to share it in this video. At the end of this video, I will put my Excel sheet right here on the screen, and you can just pause it, you can screenshot it, you can keep it, but I highly suggest making an Excel sheet before your Walt Disney World vacation, because it will keep you so organized, and it will really help you just make the most out of your magical vacation. Number 5, plan and book your dining. Now, if you're a type of person who knows that you're not going to be dining in the resorts or in the parks, and you're just going to bring your own snacks and bring your own food, this step might not apply to you. But if you're a type of person like myself who just loves eating in Disney, loves all the ambiance, just loves the entire experience of eating at the quick service restaurants, the table service restaurants, or just grabbing snacks in the parks throughout the day or at the resorts, and then definitely pay attention to this step. Book your dining as soon as possible. You can book your dining up to 180 days in advance. And if you're planning on going to one of like the more popular restaurants such as Be Our Guest or Cinderella's Royal Table or California Grill or just pretty much any of the restaurants, try to book it right at that 180-day mark because dining in Disney books up so fast. I have done it before where I wanted to go to Be Our Guest and I waited until like 160 days rather than 180 days and we couldn't get a reservation, because it books up so fast. So if you know that there's a restaurant that you really want to go to the days in your notebook and say, hey, I'm at Magic Kingdom this day, I really want to go to Be Our Guest, I'm gonna make a reservation at that 180-day mark. And then at nighttime, I know that I wanna go to Ohana for dinner because it's family style and it's a lot of fun. Book it at that 180-day mark because they will book up. They book up so fast. Now the next thing to think about is, are you going to do the dining plan? I always do the dining plan unless I'm only going for like a weekend because I feel like you get a really good bang for your buck. Now, if you're doing the dining plan like myself, what I usually do is I ask myself, how many table service credits do I have? How many quick service credits do I have? And how many snack credits do I have? And then I go from there. For example, we went to Cinderella's Royal Table once and that was 2 table service credits. So basically you get a table service credit a day, a quick service credit a day, and a snack credit a day. Now when we went to Cinderella's Royal Table, it was 2 table services just for 1 meal. So one of those days we knew that we were going to have to pay for our food. So just kind of map it out, because if you're planning on going to like 2 or 3 table service restaurants a day and you're doing the dining plan, you're still gonna end up putting a lot of money in. So yes, just go to your notebook, ask yourself, okay, I'm gonna be in Magic Kingdom in the morning and I'm gonna be in Animal Kingdom at night. I wanna do my table service in Animal Kingdom and I'm just going to do a snack at Magic Kingdom or maybe just like a little quick service there. So plan it out and book it as soon as you possibly can. Number 6 is optional, and I know it will not apply to every single person watching this video, but for me it is crucial, and that is to plan a rest day. Place a rest day into your schedule. Now, when I go to Walt Disney World, it's always for about like 5 to 8 days. I know people, not personally, but like I follow Disney vloggers and Disney bloggers that go to Walt Disney World for like 2 to 4 weeks at a time, and hashtag goals. I would love for that to happen eventually. That would be everything. But for me, I usually go anywhere between 5 to 8 days. And that is a very long time to be in Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World is the most magical place on earth, but it's also the most exhausting place on earth as well. I like to go big or go home when I go to Walt Disney World. I like to see everything, taste everything, meet as many people as I possibly can, just take in all of the sights, and you're on your feet all day. It's hot when you're out there and it is very easy to get exhausted. So I always like to plan a rest day kind of smack dab right in the middle of my vacation. And sometimes the rest days are like some of my favorite days. You just lounge around the resort, you walk around, you explore, you go in the pool, go to Disney Springs. Disney Springs is free and it's an entire day in itself between all the eating, all the sightseeing, and all the shopping. The new Disney Springs, currently downtown Disney, I just hate calling it Disney Springs. I love downtown Disney, just like I hate calling it Hollywood Studios. It will forever, ever be MGM to me. But anyways, Disney Springs itself is like an entire day adventure. It is so pretty down there. The entire reconstruction of it is gorgeous. They did such a great job. And when I went this past vacation, we spent pretty much an entire day there just shopping around and eating and just like sitting around and relaxing, and then we're in the pool. So it was just a really fun day, and it's a great way to just kind of unwind from your vacation and kind of set yourself up for the next couple of days that are up ahead. Now we're on to number 7, which is to book your fast passes. And I like to put the fast passes and the dining in the same category of importance because both of them will book up if you don't do them as soon as you possibly can. Again, with dining, you can book up to 180 days in advance. And when it comes to fast passes, you can book 60 days in advance if you're staying on property and 30 days in advance if you're staying off property. So that's just another example of some of those benefits that you get for staying on property. Now, a common misconception about fast passes is that you have to pay for them. Fast passes are completely free. You get 3 a day, and if you use those 3, you sometimes can add a 4th or a 5th one on, but you definitely always will get 3 for free. So if you go to like Six Flags or some other amusement parks, if you want to get like a fast pass or like a little block to get ahead of the line for all the rides, it costs money. For Disney, it doesn't cost money, but you only can do 3 a day. Again, sometimes 4 or 5, depending on when you finish your last fast pass. Now, the second your window opens, book your fast passes. Book them immediately, because if you plan on going on some of those more higher demand rides, such as like the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train in Magic Kingdom, or Soarin' in Epcot, Toy Story Midway Mania in Hollywood Studios, MGM, whatever, or you want to go on like Kilimanjaro safaris in Animal Kingdom, those are in high demand. So if you want to go on those rides, it is pretty common that a lot of other people are going to want to go on that ride as well. And you need to think about how many people are in Walt Disney World in one day. They only have so many spots or slots for that specific time frame for those fast passes, and when they all book up, they are done. Now, those rides again are more of like the high demand rides. There are so many other ones like Splash Mountain, and I'm not even going to get started with all of like the high demand rides, but there are some rides at Walt Disney World where the lines can get up to like 90 minutes, sometimes even more. So just book those fast passes. You're guaranteed 3 just walk through lines every single day, sometimes even more. And then I like to plan mine around that. I'll say like, okay, here are the 3 really high-end rides that I'm going on. I can just walk through them, and then I get to plan, all right, I'm gonna go to lunch in the middle, and I'm gonna go on another ride over here and another character over here. At least 3 for the day. You know that it's just like an easy breezy walk through line. So take advantage of those fast passes. You're going to get 3, and they are completely 100% free. Number 8 on my list is all about the Disney's Extra Magic Hours. Now, the Extra Magic Hours are also only for people who are staying on property. It is another benefit that you are getting for staying on the Disney grounds, and it's another way that Disney is trying to thank you for staying with them rather than with somebody else. The Disney Extra Magic Hours are so freaking amazing, and I highly suggest taking advantage of them if you can. It is a time that you can go into the park with only people who are staying on property. So the lines are a lot shorter, the crowds are a lot smaller, and you're just able to get so much done in a small amount of time. They run these Extra Magic Hours either in the morning or at nighttime or both. So for example, if Magic Kingdom is opening at 9 o'clock in the morning to the public, they might run their Extra Magic Hours from 8 to 9. So from 8 to 9, you can go into the park with only people who are staying on property. And basically just the same thing at night. If Hollywood Studios is closing at 10 o'clock, they might run their Extra Magic Hours from like 10 to 12, and all the public has to leave, and only people that are staying on property can stay for those extra 2 hours, sometimes 3, sometimes 1. It depends on whatever the day you are going for. But yeah, you can basically just get so much done in such a short amount of time. You can find the Extra Magic Hours 3 different places. You can find them on that disneyworld.disney.go.com website, which I will link in the description below, and I will also paste it right here on the screen as well. You can also find them on the Disney My Experience app, and you can also just call up a customer service rep and they will tell you. So definitely take advantage of them if you're staying on property, if that is something that you can do. I know a lot of people are traveling with kids and it's not really feasible for them to stay at Magic Kingdom until 1 o'clock in the morning, but if you can, try to do it, because you will get so much more done, and it truly is a really awesome experience. The second to last thing that I like to do before my Walt Disney World trip, and number 9 on my list, is to finalize my Excel sheet. Now again, I will put my Excel sheet at the end of this video, and you can just screenshot it if you would like to use it as a guide. I feel like I do a pretty decent job at planning out my vacation, and I feel like I do a pretty good job at creating an Excel sheet. So if you would like to use it as a guide, go ahead, it is all yours. Now, I like to finalize my Excel sheet, and then once it is finalized and I'm happy with the way that it looks and it has all the information that I want on it, I send it to myself. I send it to my email, and I send it to my text messages. And the reason that I do this is because a lot of people depend on using that Disney's My Experience app. Basically anything that you book in the or on the Disney World website is just connected to your Disney World My Experience app. Now, a lot of people like to depend on using that app when they're in the parks, and I used to be one of those people until one time I went to Disney World and so many people were using it that it actually shut the server down and nobody was able to get onto that app. In order to figure out your plans, you had to go to one of those kiosks, and there was always like 50 or 60 people waiting to use that kiosk to learn their plans or to remember their plans. Now, I don't like to do that because I don't want to waste any time when I'm in Walt Disney World. So I like to take that Excel sheet and just use it as like my backup. I'll send it to myself and then I'll take a screenshot on my phone, I'll save it in my photos, and if the Disney My Experience app goes down for the day, I just open up my Excel sheet and I take a look at it. I look at the day, I look at the time, oh, here's my fast passes, here's my dining, etc. So it's always great to have a backup. I just like to finalize that Excel sheet, send it to myself, send it to my email, send it to my text message, and I always send it to a couple of people that are in the party with me, so we all just have it and we're all kind of in the know of what's going on for our Walt Disney World trip. And number 10, the final thing that I like to do before I go on my magical vacation is pretty nerdy of me, but it is to plan out all of my outfits for the week. I know that sounds like so dorky, but it just really helps me. I am one of those people, like I said, that loves to plan for a Walt Disney World trip, and half of the fun for me is planning out my days, and half of that fun is to say, hey, I'm going to Magic Kingdom for the day, so I want to wear these ears because I know that they're going to match the castle, so what outfit can I wear that is going to match that up? Basically, I just open up a little notes in my iPhone, and then I set it up with like Disney World outfits for the week, and it's just right over here, and I just write down all of the outfits that I want to wear for that day. If I'm going to be changing, excuse me, I'm trying to find the right one, that was the wrong one. But yeah, if I'm going to be changing outfits, I like to just put like, oh, in the morning I'm going to be wearing this, in the afternoon I'm going to be wearing that. If I'm going to Ohana, I kind of want to go for like more of a Polynesian look. So again, I know that's very dorky, but that is the last thing that I like to do, is just to plan out all my outfits, so when it comes time for my actual trip, I'm 100% ready. And that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope that this video was beneficial or helpful to anyone out there who is trying to plan their own Walt Disney World vacation. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all your support, all your positivity, and just all of your awesome vibes that you guys send me each and every day on my channel. It means the absolute world to me, and I just want to let all of you guys know from the bottom of my heart that I love you to the moon and back. You make YouTube so much fun for me, and I just really appreciate all that you guys do. So thank you, and thank you again. I hope that you're all having an amazing day, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye guys!